Hey everyone, hello, hello. Long time no see. So it is Aya, and I'm coming back live today after a long period where I did not come live. So I'm catching up. I'm talking to you about my life, what's going on, and inviting you to a few things that are happening in my world. So first of all, I have not been live on Facebook for a while because I didn't feel called to. Is that right to admit that? And yeah, it's like I felt I needed some time with myself. I have been through eye surgery, so I have more clarity now. I can see clearly now. And so I decided that it was a good idea to come back live and talk a little bit about what's going on with me so that you don't feel like you have been completely abandoned by me. I'm still here. I am changing a few things in my business model. And so that means that I have less availability for coming live on Facebook. I need to be more centered on some of the stuff that I really want to make happen. And part of that is actually I'm writing a book. Yay, yay. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm writing a novel, which is a brand new task for me. So, plus I'm writing in English, which might seem easy for you guys, but English is not my first language. I'm being very, very uh, specific about how the language and how I want it to be written. So that means a lot of work but a lot of fun work. So I'm doing that, and that takes a lot of my energy and time, and I need to not be distracted. So that's part of the reasons why I don't come live as often as I did before. Now, the still it's December, and there's a lot of things going on in my world. As you might have seen, I have a self-care calendar, advent calendar going on. So if you follow my posts, you will see them every day with some ideas for self-care. And actually, it's this advent calendar is actually a prompt or a teaser for an actual oracle deck that I'm creating about self-care with the goddess. And so you will hear about that more in January when I launch it. But for now, I am just teasing you with some of these self-care tips and tricks that you can find on my profile and in my group. If you're not in my group, Women, the Too Much Woman Living a Goddess Life, please come and join us. We're having all the fun. So that's one of the things that is going on, and it's going to go on after the event is officially over, because on December the 20th, I'll be converting it to a different type of calendar. It's going to be a 24 days closing the 2022 year, and then 12 days closing the 2022 year, and then 12 days to open up the 2023 year. So if you want to follow along with that, you can find all the posts on my profile, on my pro page on Facebook, or in my group, obviously. So yeah, the self-care advent calendar is for free, and you can find it all over my profile. Now, the other things that I wanted to catch up with is you might remember that I did a few episodes of my podcast in a thing called with a series called Things Women Don't Talk About, which is a live podcast interview with a guest, and we talk about things women don't talk about. So it could be either something that is how can you put that? A little taboo, like, sex. Oh my God. Or money. or or some difficult subjects, imposter syndrome, pain, um, or it can be something that might too mundane to be discussed on the interwebs. Like I had a conversation with my lovely friend Christy Iris around bathrooms. So it was actually coming live from her, which I love to bits. So if you are into that, you can a new episode tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Paris time. So that's 8 a.m. UK. You can watch it live everywhere, basically, on my channel, but also on my guests' channels. So my guest is Fiona Morris, and together we will be discussing the so-called dark cards of the tarot deck. So the ones that kind of all the fluffy, angelic people fear, or even decide to take out of the decks. Which makes me laugh a lot. So we'll see about that tomorrow, 9 a.m. Paris time. Of course, if you cannot attend live and see and watch us on video, you can get the replay. It will be on my podcast, on my YouTube channel, on my guest YouTube channel as well. So you will find that everywhere. And I'm really excited to say that I'm relaunching this series, and there's going to be now one episode of this series every month in my podcast. By the way, if you want to be a guest on this podcast, if you have an idea for a thing that women don't talk about, please just reach out. Send me a DM, and we'll see if we can make it work. For you, I am really excited to be talking about things that we don't talk about. Then the other thing that I have going on is at the end of this week on Saturday. So I think it's an afternoon thing. Just give me a sec. I'll have to remember the exact time. Yeah, it's an afternoon. So it's 2 hours. It's a 2 hours workshop around vision boarding. So we'll be vision boarding for 2023. This is going to happen on Zoom. You will find all the links of everything that I'm talking about above or below in the description of the video. If you don't, let me share that in the comments, although I know that some of those comments will not be visible for you, depending on where you're listening. But you will find them somewhere. So yeah, the vision board workshop is a 2-hour workshop. It will be happening on Saturday, December the 17th. Let me just check that, because I'm never sure about the days. And yeah, it's 2 p.m. UK, so 3 p.m. Paris time, and we go on for 2 hours. It's a very specific process that I have for vision boarding. It's not your typical vision boarding. And you're absolutely welcome to come and join us. It's 23 euros, so it's not a free offering, but it's 23 euros, right? And so we go into this space of kind intuitive creating, and we go through meditation and through centering and aligning ourselves with our higher self, basically. And so it's not but it's also a creative process. So that means glue and paper and things like that. We're not talking digital here. We are literally going analogic with glue and scissors and papers. And I love that. I love that because there's something different happening when you use your hands, because the hands take over. And most of the time, the brain has to let go. And I love that. I really love that, the way it works in ourselves. So yeah, that's the other thing that you have, that I have going on in my world. And for the rest, I am slowly transiting into Christmas, family, eat too much, and play board games. energy. I'm still working for another 2 weeks because we're going to be going to Switzerland and celebrating Christmas quite late this year. So we leave on the 27th. And that means that up until then, I'm more or less at my desk, but I'm taking it slow. My eye surgery last week was a very great success. I have more clarity, but I feel that I still need some, yeah, breathing and resting and having fun, basically. So listening to Christmas carols and eating a little too much already, but also keeping warm, drinking tea, and going inwards, because I believe that December is a very good time, despite the whole agitation thing, to go inwards, and to really, up until the solstice and even after that, um, to really focus on the inside um, growth. Let's put it this way, and the dreaming and the resting and the centering on the incredible things that are happening on the inside, while there might seem that nothing is going on the outside, basically. Because I believe, like, we are like the earth. So in the winter, the seeds of our dreams and expectations and intentions and goals are hidden to the sight. They are underground and in the darkness, but they will bloom in the springtime, provided we kind of let them um, grow in silence and stillness and darkness, which I love doing. So if you're interested in any of the offerings, you can find everything on my website, I guess. Obviously, hopefully, you can also. Yeah, I'm not reading pulling cards today for you guys, but if you're interested in a 3 card tarot reading, you can get that by clicking on the link that will appear somewhere around, and hopefully you can read the link somewhere. Anyway, so that was my little not rant, but conversation today. And I'm not going to commit to come live more often because I know myself. When I'm in writing process, I'd rather not actually talk and be extrovert. So, but I am going to wish all of you a wonderful holiday season, whether it's crowded and noisy, whether it's silent and peaceful, or whether it's half and half, which I highly recommend, basically, to do the half and half thing. I will come at some point and discuss my 3 tips for surviving the holidays if you are in this big family situation. But that's not for today. Today, I just wanted to catch up a little bit about where I am and what I'm doing and how we can work together if you're so inclined. In the meantime, I'm going to love you and leave you for now, and I'll see you around. Bye.